Okay, Joe, this year you became chairman of the Republican Party, means you were elected as chairman of the Republican Executive Committee. Why? It's unpaid. It's a lot of work. Why in the world did you want to do that?
Because I think we could do better as a party, and I think that in these times we need people to step up and assume leadership positions, and I'm hoping that we could have a positive impact here in Sarasota.
What are your goals for the job? What do you want to do with it?
Well, the previous chairman have actually done a pretty good job. If you look at Tram Hudson, Bob Wechter, Eric Robinson, our main purpose is to help elect Republican candidates. And if you look across the county, we have mainly Republicans elected to almost all the partisan positions and most of the nonpartisan seats. And I think that what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring back some additional, I'd like to help build the grassroots army, because over the last several elections we've seen our vote share here in Sarasota County on the top of the ticket for Republicans decrease, and a lot of that could be attributed to a lot of different factors, but I think we could do a better job, and I think we have some new life with the party, some new energy, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that our candidates for governor and for the U.S. Senate in 2010 are successful.
One of the things you hear a lot about now is the Internet's role in politics, and words are being tossed around like Facebook, Twitter. I got a friend request today from Vern Buchanan on my Facebook page, so obviously people in politics are getting involved in the Internet. What do you think about that?
Well, the reason why they're getting involved in politics is it's a way for not only candidates, but it's a way for campaigns to communicate directly with the voters. You no longer have to go through the mainstream media. Now with these Facebooks and Twitters and stuff, you can communicate directly with the end user, with the voter, and you can get your information straight to them. So it's you got to think for the average person and the average voter, it's a great deal because they can communicate just like with Congressman Buchanan and a lot of the other elected officials. It's the wave of the future. Obama mastered it, and certainly here locally we're going to do everything we can to improve our presence on those social networking sites.
What do you think of Barack Obama as a political candidate? You're a campaign consultant, just as stylistically.
I think there's probably nobody better that could move people. I think we saw that. He overcame incredible odds in the campaign. You think he actually beat the Clinton machine and the Democratic Party in a nationwide primary contest, and so he deserves a lot of credit. He's a great candidate. I think he inspires a lot of people. And so as a candidate, he's very, very good, and he's and very effective.
How do you do minority outreach as a Republican chairman when the president is an African American?
Well, I think we have our new head of the party nationally is Michael Steele, and I think that our generation, my generation, is somewhat colorblind. I don't think we look at things as people as being black or white or what religion they are. I think we look at what's good in people and what's bad in people, and I think that if you're trying to do the right thing, people, you'll get them regardless of what background they are. Now, I do think that we have some obstacles as a party. I think we have to do everything we can to increase the size of our tent. I think that if you believe in our core principles of less government, which includes less spending, fiscal discipline, personal responsibility, less taxes, if you believe in those core principles, I think that we may not agree on every other issue, but if you agree with us on those core beliefs, then hopefully we could bring you into our tent, and we're going to have to reach out to be successful in the future.
Now, after the presidential election, people were looking around saying, who's the leader now that Bush is off the scene? And some in the media were holding up Rush Limbaugh as like the head of the Republican Party. And Michael Steele was asked about it, and he said, no, he's not the leader. He's a talk show host. And they sort of created, I think, an artificial feud between them. What do you think about Rush Limbaugh and his role in the Republican Party?
I think Rush Limbaugh upsets a lot of people because he really tells people how it is, and I don't think people like somebody knocking on the door saying you're doing something wrong day after day after day, and that's basically what he does. You know, I bless my mother. You know, she used to drive all 6 kids around to the various sporting and athletic events every day, and the one thing I grew up with was Rush Limbaugh on the radio. So I actually, Rush helped shape my conservative beliefs from a young age. He's not the leader of our party, but I do think he's an asset to our party, and I'm glad to have him on our side.
Why do you think so many Sarasotans voted for Barack Obama? Sarasota always used to be considered a safe Republican county. In fact, the Democrats running for office didn't even campaign in Sarasota. And now he almost won the county. Why?
Well, the Democrats have done a good job of turning out their base. They're doing a good job on grassroots. They're doing much better than the Republicans on social networking sites. But the ultimate reason why Obama did so well in Sarasota County was he outspent McCain 4-1 on TV, and you can't overcome those numbers.
He did, really. He spent a lot of money in Sarasota.
4-1 on TV, you can't overcome that. I don't care who you are.
Now, there are some races out there that are nonpartisan, like the Sarasota City Commission race, judicial races. What do you think the role of the local party ought to be in these nonpartisan races? Should you get involved? How should you get involved? What do you think?
Well, it's a good question because we have the City of Sarasota elections right now. I reached out early on to the Democratic chairwoman, Rita Ferrandino, and made a truce with her saying, you stay out of the race for the City Commission race, and we're going to stay out of the race. And so far, they've kept to their end of the deal, and we're going to stay out of it for as long as we can. I'd prefer to stay out of some of these nonpartisan races like the City Commission, but every single race we'll have to look at on an individual basis, and we'll have to see what the Democrats are doing. I won't give up any ground. If for some reason the Democrats are doing something, then I will not let our candidates be unrepresented.
Let's talk about the 2006 congressional race. That was obviously very bloody. It was a really big battle between Nancy Dietert, Vern Buchanan, and Tram Hudson, but particularly between Tram and Vern. You were obviously involved in helping Vern. Why Vern?
Well, Vern, it's a good story. You know, I started working with Vern way back in 2000, and it was actually after I ran for office a second time. He saw me at lunch. He said, "What are you doing, Joe?" I said, I got accepted to University of Florida Law. My bags are packed. I'm going. He said, law school is a waste of time. Come talk to me about business. And from then on out, I've been with Vern. And I think he appealed to a lot of people because of his business skills. He's a self-made man, started with nothing. Vern Buchanan started with nothing, and now he's one of the most successful guys in town. And if you talk to him and you get to know him, he truly is a leader we could all strive to be like. I mean, he's really a fantastic guy, and I'll tell you, as an employee, he's an incredible boss.
Real quick, why did that 2006 race get so nasty? What happened?
Well, what happened was that Vern was trying to keep it clean. You got to remember what happened. Vern went on TV, you know, way early, and he built a 40 or like a 30-point lead. And what happened was, when you're behind in a race like that, you have the only thing you can do is try to tear down the person on top, and that's what happened. One of the candidates decided to get aggressive and started negative campaigning, and it just became an absolute bloodbath, unfortunately. And it's I don't know if our community's ever healed. I think the job that Vern has done since winning that seat, I think has healed a lot of wounds. But we're still trying to bring everybody back into the party from that campaign.
Okay, we'll take our last break, and we'll be back with our final segment with Joe Gruters.